Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. So, we are here today to interview you about your blossoming music career. So, are you prepared?
I am.
All right, let's get started. Do you believe that your Rock and Electro EP album was successful?
I believe it was simply because I got it out there. And that's all I wanted. I don't care who buys it, you know. People could say it was a waste of my time, but it wasn't. It's music that I made and that I managed to put out, and people listen to it. I mean, it's on my SoundCloud. I see people press play and people listen to it. And I even get comments like, oh my gosh, this is really cool. You know, and I've put in concepts of music production that I don't think anyone's ever done before, in my personal opinion.
And what is SoundCloud?
SoundCloud is like the musician's Facebook. It's just thousands of musicians coming together for this one gigantic music site. And they pour their music out. And there's really good people, and there's people that have only been playing guitar for 2 days, you know.
How long have you been making music for?
5 years.
5. And how old are you now?
16.
And how do you hope that people will feel with your music?
I hope it inspires them. To me, it makes me want to go do something. Like, I'll make music, but then after I hear a song, I'm like, I want to go help somebody. Like, I hope that my music changes attitudes of people, changes personalities to just become these amazing, positive people. You know, I want to change the world with my music.
What type of genre of music do you like to make the most?
It varies between electronic and acoustic folk.
Those are your 2 favorite?
Yes, strong favorites.
And do you use them in all of your work?
Just about.
Do you think that someday you might explore different genres?
Yes, I think I will.
Alright. What are you working on right now?
Right now, I'm working on my full-length album, Genesis. It's a 10-track album that is currently halfway done. And it's not halfway done as in I still have 5 tracks to go. All my tracks, you could say right now, I guess, are done. But right now, I'm going over them and adding finishing touches so that I make sure that when they come out on iTunes and in music stores and on CDs and stuff like that, it conveys the exact message that I want it to.
And what is that message that you want to convey?
Change your life, you know, or enjoy your life as it is. You know, I just want it to give people a more positive view on life, almost give yourself a new start, a new beginning, a Genesis. You know, and Genesis is also my new beginning because the reason I named it Genesis was because I sounded so different from rock and electro. Because rock and electro was me just oh yeah, I'm having so much fun with this and I hope other people have fun with it. But now it's this is my pain, my happiness, my joy all into this album. And it not only does it sound mature because of all the time that's passed, but it sounds bigger because of all the emotion that's filled in each track, each song. And that's why I call it Genesis.
Good. How are you able to balance your education with your career?
I think a lot of it, my education is partially my music because when I get into college, I want to study sound design and I want to study music theory and all these things that'll help me become a better music producer as not just an artist, but as someone that can go make the next movie. I'll be the next Danny Elfman, the guy who made all the music to The Nightmare Before Christmas, or the next Hans Zimmer, who made all the music to Transformers and things like that.
And do you work with anyone on music?
I have before. When I first started, actually, my best friend, Cody, he and I did a lot of stuff together. I made more music with him than I did on my own for a long time. And then, we got busy with, just school and life. And so then I just started making it on my own. and then eventually I did some things with Ethan, my friend Ethan. He's now become a really good friend. Like he's a best friend. I see him as a brother now, and we made really cool songs together. And I made one track that's going on the Genesis album with my mom. Actually, she sang for it, which I'm actually really happy about because she's a professional singer.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So music runs in the family.
It does. Both my parents are musically inclined.
Who taught you to make music?
I taught myself most of it. It was a lot of YouTube, a lot of like how to make this sound or like how to make this go together. But with the writing and like putting the notes out, it kind of came naturally because I'm a musical ear. I was raised in a musical family, so.
What usually is the mindset that you go through when you're starting to create a new song or an idea?
It's either what is the emotion I'm trying to convey or emotions, or what is the story I'm trying to tell. And obviously, I mean, the story can be different to anyone who hears it, but for me, that's like a basic like beginning of how I make my music. Or sometimes it's even an image. Catalyst was simply an image. Catalyst, like the definition of catalyst is like a sudden, like a spark or beginning. That's an abstract definition. I can't remember the exact definition, but that's what I remember, and that's why I called my song Catalyst, because Catalyst was like the next thing that I made after Rock and Electro EP that just like was new and completely different than anything I ever made before, and that's also why it's the first track on the album. Catalyst, Genesis.
When is your first live performance?
And I'm rumored to perform at the Glendora Harvest Festival. If that hasn't already passed yet.
That's a local.
That's a local thing. They haven't really told me much about it, but they asked me to do something for them. So, see where that goes.
And how did you come up with your stage name?
Oscillator is something I didn't really like come up with. There was a program, there was a little synthesizer in FL Studio, and it was called OSC3X or OSC3X, and it had 3 oscillators on it. And an oscillator is something that produces sound. Just produces sound, and from that I was like, hey, I'll just call myself Oscillator. I make sound, and that's where I got it.
Have you collaborated with other artists?
Not like other artists through SoundCloud or anything. My brother Josh, he's a year older than me, and he sort of messes around with making music, and I made a song with him, and that's on the Rock and Electro EP. It's called Light in the Darkness, and then featuring Silver Noise. That's what he calls himself. And that was actually a really impressive song. I think it was my first one in impressive dubstep track. And it was really good. I enjoyed it, and it was fun to make.
Will you ever collaborate with anyone else, do you think, in the near future?
I sure hope so. For me, collaborating is such a fun thing to do, and I think it's amazing when 2 artists mix their sounds together to make a new one.
So, do you have any last words that you want to say?
Anyone that has watched this interview, I hope that if you haven't heard of me before, or if you have, I hope you take all my words to heart, and that you've gotten to know who I am as a person, and that if you want to make music, or if you want to do anything that I'm doing, just do it in your own way. Knock it out.
Alright, well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure interviewing you.
Yeah.